folks, this is Gray Eagle in Florida. Beautiful day outside, except for it's very cold for us here in Florida. You know, we're acclimated to the warmth here, and when it gets below 60, it's really cold to us. I know there's a lot of you folks from up north that think we're all a bunch of wusses for bundling up when it gets 60 degrees, but that's really cold to us because we're so used to you know, the 85 to 95, 85 to 90, 91, 92 degree summer and even fall temperatures. Oh, by the way, my home 20 of Rockford, Illinois, it was 8 degrees below zero last night. Now, when you leave that, I've been down here for, I don't know, I left Illinois in 1972, came to Florida in 85, and went to Alabama first, and spent quite a few years there. And you know, when you're used to the southern temperatures, anything below 60, 55, you know, that's cold to us, so we have to bundle up. We're acclimated to the heat. All right, now, so much for the weather forecast. Now, we have a few end times prophecies here that we want to analyze and discuss. And the first one is about Jeb Bush. Now, the headline reads, 2016 hopeful Jeb Bush backs Big Brother government surveillance. Keeps us safe, he says. Or does it? No, it doesn't keep us safe at all. Because what he's talking about is not us as American citizens. He's talking about us, which includes him and his globalist minions. It keeps them safe from what they suppose to be American dissidents and militia groups and other groups that are that they deign in their minds to be fighting the globalist situation. So that's that first article. Keeps us safe. No. Keeps them safe. The globalists. Okay, the next article fulfills Matthew 10:17, James 2:6, and Mark 13:9. Let me read Mark 13:9 to you. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils and to the synagogues, and ye shall be beaten, and ye shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake. Yeah, Paul was brought before the kings. He was brought before Agrippa. He was where Paul almost persuaded Agrippa to be a Christian. In fact, I believe probably eventually, somewhat after the fact, Agrippa may likely have become a born again. Also was well, not by Paul's hand, but Pilate supposedly saw Christ after his resurrection, and his wife certainly, I believe, was a born again, one of us. But now the reason they're going to bring us before these people is because there's going to be a judgment day. And it's going to be just a court just like us. All the laws that apply to us Christians today, all the laws that they force us to live under, are going to be applied to them in God's in the great white throne judgment. And what he's going to need to lock down these convictions for these people is witnesses to testify against them. And notice the last line says, you'll be brought before rulers and kings, and for my sake, for a testimony against them. That's a quote from the King James. Okay. The Bible says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. And these people are overlords, are oppressors, the great men of the earth, and their lackeys in government that write all these laws against us. You know, here's one of the the Bible speaks of mischievous law. Here's one of the mischievous laws they write against us. If you look it up on the internet, I think it's on standale.com, that you can't capture rainwater for personal use. Now their reasoning for it is that water goes out down into the water tables and then feeds other places that are in drought. That's why they won't let us. That's a mischievous law. Okay, let's move on to the next article. And this is right on google.com, or not Google, but YouTube. Financial collapse of the U.S. before 13 September 2015. Now this prophecy, I got a visual aid here for you today. It's a glove. It fits like a glove with Wilkerson's financial collapse prophecy of 1974. Fits like a glove with that one, see? That's a visual, that's called a visual aid, by the way. Alright, now all of these articles will be linked up in the description. All you have to do to read it is click on Show More. And let's see, Wilkerson's prophecy predicted that there will be an Asian country or an Eastern country or some other country go down first. And it could be this thing with Greece going on right now. That could be the catalyst that sets off, the trigger that sets off Wilkerson's prophecy. Greece going down. Now we know there's been a lot of issues with Greece going on. They've bailed them out before, but I read an article on the internet just a little while ago that Germany's not going to bail out Greece anymore. That's the end of it. So these two prophecies could be fitting together like the proverbial glove. Now this is a video, and it's Jonathan Kahn in it. What do they call him? He's a Jewish believer in Christ. He's a messianic. He's a messianic Jew, and he's using the 7-year timetable as apparently he thinks that, or he says that every 7 years there's a financial downturn, and the last downturn we had was in 2008. He says the next one, of course, will be 2015, and he thinks it'll be in September, and he's shown several other things that have happened to the day that he predicted it, because he's an expert in biblical chronology and timelines. Okay, now I want you to remember this. Isaac Newton, I think it was. The Dow has been up to record highs recently. But remember this Newton law. What goes up must come down. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's it for Gray Eagle today on February 19th. By the way, NASCAR starts today. The dual races start tonight. Saturday there will be I think a truck race. ARCA, I think, is races today at Daytona, and the big race, the Daytona 5, the Super Bowl of NASCAR, Super Bowl of NASCAR starts Sunday. I'll be watching it right from where I'm sitting, and I hope you will be too. But don't get so involved in your sports that you don't do the Lord's work. And always be reminded. But besides that, NASCAR doesn't have any of this. Don't tolerate any of this nonsense like the NFL does. The beatings of the football players beating their wife and burning down houses and actually even killing people. That guy from New England is on trial this week, I believe. So you don't hear of any of that in NASCAR. They put a stop to that. These are for the most part they're Christian men. They're drivers and all their. And by the way, I once knew a personal friend of mine was a mechanic for Bobby Allison up in Birmingham. I told you I lived there, and he was in one of those movies. He couldn't remember which one, but I think I had seen it at one time. But yeah, he was a mechanic. His name was Roy. I'm not going to give his last name out. He's still, as far as I know, living in the Birmingham area. Good guy, great guy. Personal friend of mine. So that's it. Watch the NASCAR races now through Sunday. And even though it's cold, they like to do warm weather. But it's a lot warmer down here than what it is in Chicago or Rockford. So the Grey Eagle 48 signing off for now. I'll be back if the good Lord be willing and the creek don't rise. I'm out.